Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to learn about AzCopy, a copy command which will be used from one storage account to another storage account, or anything you wanted to do it for data upload or download, you would be using AzCopy. In fact, in the previous lectures, we did actually used Storage Explorer, a tool from Microsoft, which is a free, and also we tried to use the within the browser built-in Storage Explorer tool also. But this lecture is going to be fully dedicated. If at all you don't have that tool and you wanted to work with AzCopy, then this tool is the right tool for anything to deal with the data, for uploading, deleting, or downloading or copying to somewhere, or from one storage account to another storage account. This is the tool which you're gonna work with AzCopy. This tool can be downloaded from this specific link. I'm gonna give you the link. The current version is 10, and as we talk, this is the latest version as in date, and it might change, but the commands are very powerful and it might be useful in the future to update some other code. So the way it works is you need to use a first command called AzCopy and then log on, so that it would actually comes up with a device code within the command window, and you would be entering that code. Then it actually enters, you need to enter your user ID and password. If at all you have a permission, it's gonna actually allow you. So we are gonna do all these steps to perform. And if you have a multiple tenants, you can actually use AzCopy with logon by giving a tenant ID equivalent and give the tenant ID. So that way you're explicitly logging to that specific tenant wherever you have the contributor rights on that specific blob. So here are the commands that we are going to use within this specific demo. The first command would be the AzLogon, which will be used for the login purpose. In case if you have a multiple tenants or you want to explicitly log into a specific tenant, then this is the command you need to use it. In case if you are trying to do with the Azure trial, and if you're trying with the trial account, it might not work unless you grant the contributor rights. I'm going to show you in this demo. And the command for copying from AzCopy from a local files, let's see, I have a folder called Az in my C drive, contains some kind of images and folders. If I want to copy that, just the files, I would be using this command AzCopy from my source to my blob location. And if I want everything including the folders to be copied, I need to use recursive flag at the end of the command here. And in case if I want my entire blob to be copied from one storage account to another storage account, let's say from my source storage account to destination storage account, I would be using AzCopy with the storage account of my source storage account with a container name followed by a SAS key. Yes, earlier we tried to use here directly the commands we try to upload, but here anything to do with the AzCopy for a storage account to storage account, you need to work with the SAS tokens. In fact, we have worked with the SAS tokens in another lecture already. You can check out that lecture, how to generate the SAS. But anyway, we are going to generate that SAS tokens within this lecture also, and then that time bounded SAS tokens would be pasting that command, and then you would be giving the destination storage account with a container name. That's where it's going to copy paste everything. And if I try to build this command, it looks like this. So I just try to differentiate with the colors like blue and green, and with the recursive, in case if you want to upload even folders, that's a container folders inside that, any files also, then you should be using recursive. So that being said, let's jump into the demonstration of AzCopy. As we talked earlier, we are going to download the AzCopy. So you have here multiple options, one for Windows and one for 32-bit of Windows and Linux and Mac also. So it depends on your client operating system that you can use the AzCopy command. So I'm just using a 64-bit and download it, and I'm going to copy this file to my Windows folder. The reason being I want to paste it here is by pasting here I can call from anywhere in the command window, or otherwise I have to just go to that specific directory and then do the changes from there, like executing the AzCopy. The third option would be you can set the environmentable variable. So in my case, since I trust this azcopy.exe, I'll just copy here. That's good. And now we have the copy command. Now let's type to see azcopy command. I hope the text is visible for you. And you see here, this is the AzCopy, and I can type the help command to get more information. Now I'm going to actually work with the first command that we try to build here with the az logon. So if you see here, this is my account in my tenant. This is my tenant ID, which is starting with the B7, and here I have a user account already created in my tenant, and I'm going to use that account for working with this demonstration purpose. So AzCopy logins, otherwise you can give -- tenant ID equivalent and give the tenant ID. So in our case, az logon, this would actually open up a new window, and before that it actually generates a device ID for this browser. So you see here, I need to open up this URL, that's a device login, and give this ID as the login ID for this URL. So that's what I have to do. So let's jump into that, open up, and here give this small code that is given by this machine. So I'll give this so that it's going to actually ask the account that is going to be signed. So I have a used account in my Azure AD. I just wanted to give that account, so that would take it up. And since I have a multi-factor authentication, I might be prompted to enter my multi-factor authentication ID also. And yes, I'm signed in now to the AzCopy environment within my application. So now let me open my command window here, and it's a login is success. Now this is the account was signed in. I have already created two storage accounts, one with the destination storage account as a demo, that's a name, and also one with the source storage account demo. So there are two storage accounts that I have created, and I'm going to use within this demo these two accounts. The first one is a source, so let's work with the source. This is where we will try to upload our local files to the storage account. So if I just go to containers, that's a blob container, I can create here a blob container with a name called maybe test folder, and you see here I'm actually working with the private, no anonymous access. So only if I sign in, I should be able to access, otherwise nobody else will have the permission. In fact, we talked in detail about this in the storage account lecture. Now if you see here, we have now a container. Now it's time for us to grant the permissions from AM. So click on AM and add role assignment. This is where I'm going to give a permission for contributor for the blob permission. So I'll just search for the storage account blob data contributor. That's the account permission that needs to be granted for the account which I signed in to copy. So in this case, this is account Paddy, and I have granted the permissions. So what happens is next, so this might take 2-3 minutes to grant permission. So I'll just go to my command window, and I'll show you my, I would like to show you my files also on my Windows machine. You see here there are a few files in a folder, 2 files, and outside there are total 5 files, total 7. So 5 outside, 2 are inside a folder. So I'll just go to container and take the properties of this. Currently there's no files here, as you see. I'll just take the properties so that I know I'm actually working with this specific URL. So we worked earlier with the login command. Now it's time for us to work with the AzCopy with a copy command. So this is where I'm going to give my source. This is my source from my local machine, and this is my destination. So I just pasted from the properties of this by copying here to this value. So that's how it's going to work. So copy from everything from this folder. So AzCopy from everything here, including the folder. That's what I'm expecting. But since I haven't given the recursive, it doesn't work. So it will just copy only files. So that's okay. And I just copy paste the properties of that specific blob location. So from my local machine to that specific blob. So that's my copy from my local AZ command to my destination as this specific URL. That is nothing but the test folder as a container in my storage account. It's gonna upload. So it's taking some time. So it's executing by authenticating, scanning, all that process would normally happens. And at any point of time, it should actually complete. There are 5 pending files. So if you see here, there's a total 5 pending files. That's what it's taking, and that's a log file. If you want to review, you can review from here, log. And this is going to take some time. So let's wait for a minute to complete these files. So this is almost completed. If you see, the final job status is completed. Everything is fine. So as a next step, what I will be doing is I'll just go to these files from my Windows machine. You see total 5 files and 2 are in the folder. So let's go to the Storage Explorer account and just go to the test demo container, and you see here these all the files has been copied here, but it was not copied the 2 more files which are in a folder, right? So if you wanted to do even that 2 also to be copied, you can actually run a command called recursive. That's what we talked. Anything with the folder, you can actually work with the recursive. So I'll just paste that command here and click enter. So this might take a minute to complete, including the folder contents also by creating another folder within that container. So that's good. So now you see here 7 pending files it's showing, and 4 now currently. So it's completed total 7. Earlier it was 5. If I just take it to the screen up a bit, you should be seeing as only 5. So let me show you here. You have total 5, and this time it is 7. So let's go to the container and do a quick refresh and see if we have a folder. Yes, we have a folder, and within this folder we have the 2 files which are exactly the name format. Since I gave as a folder, it came as a folder. Otherwise it can be any other folder name with the 2 files also. Now we understand that how to upload from a local machine to a storage account here. Now it's time for us to copy from a storage account, that's this storage account, to another storage account. So how do we copy? So for that we need to grant again permissions, and we need to create a container also. Let's first grant the permissions. So I'll go to the destination storage account, and from AM, that is the access management, so identity access management, and then add the account here. So I'll just go here and click on add, and this time it's the same permissions like we have given storage blob data contributor, right? So the same permission we have to give here, and then select the user account that wanted to upload. Say in this case again the account called Paddy, and click on save. That would actually grant the permission for Paddy. Now it's time for us to understand copying from one storage account to another storage account doesn't work like the way we wanted. It should actually, you should grant the on a source storage account SAS permissions. So it doesn't work just like authentication based. So I'll just go to my source storage account, and from here I would actually generate the SAS. So in the previous lectures we did actually work with the storage account by creating a shared access signature also. So the same thing we are going to generate now one more time here. So I'll just go to SAS, and I'm going to only work with the blob. So I'll just use the blob, and the services, maybe a container is a good option, but I'll just take everything. And the timings, yes, you can give the timing along with the expiry time. So in our case, that's fine. We are going to choose the allowed source type and generate. So that would generate a SAS token. So I would actually work with this SAS token, and I just copy this the SAS token, and then I'll try to build a command that would actually copy here. So I'll just copy paste the documentation. As per the documentation, if you see here, I need to actually work with AzCopy with the source and then the container of the storage account. This is a storage account and the container, and the path of path is nothing but the container, of course, here, and here the SAS. So SAS token to be pasted. Later point, I'm going to actually use here the destination along with the container name. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll just change here the values. I need to give here the double quotes. I'm going to do that later point, but just to copy here till here the token. So that's the destination with the container name. So here what I'll do is first I'll replace with the SAS token that we just copied. So we just copied from here. So I'll just enter that SAS token. I need to take out that less than and greater than symbols, that's a brackets, and this is my storage account. So as you know that the storage account name just to be replaced is good, so I can just copy from the top as the storage account name. So I'll just copy that storage account name here by taking the specific storage account as a source, right? So I'll just go copy, and then I replace here with the storage account name, and then blob.windows.net and the container name. So container name, as you know that that's where our files are there, and the source storage account. So I'll just go to containers and take the storage container here. Take the storage container folder called test folder. So I'll just use this container name, and now that path is not needed because I'm not copying inside container of this folder. Let's say if I want to just copy the folder, I would give here a blob path as a folder, but in our case we don't need that, so let's take it out. Now it's time for us to remove that symbol also. Now this is the SAS token, we copy paste it as it is. Now it's time for us to paste in the destination. So let's go to the destination storage account and give this complete path. But you see here we don't have a container actually, which was not created in a storage account. Let me show you that this account. So let's take the storage account name first and replace that with the storage account name. And you see here container name. So let's say I want to give here a specific container and I wanted to create that container also. So in this case, let's say demo target I can give here, and I don't want to create any other folders inside this, so I'll just take it out that. And now I need to create demo target. So what I'll do is actually I'll go to even the recursive, if I wanted to copy everything, and I'll just go to the command prompt to make a container called demo target. So if you remember, this is what the actual path, and we try to make this query to build in this format, like that's where the SAS token and then the destination. So within the destination, the container was not there. That's called the demo target container. So this is not there, right? So I have to create this. So I'm going to do that. And what I'll do is I'll open up my command window. So here there's a command called AzCopy. If I just show you before we jump into AzCopy command, from the containers, there's no container here. So I need to make that specific command. So what I'm going to do is actually I'll create this specific container till that place. So I'll just copy, and I'll make that command like AzCopy. I'll just type AzCopy, and here, and make, that's gonna make that specific container in that storage account. So container name is demo target. It's going to make. So successfully created a resource with the make command here. So if I just go to that storage account and refresh, I could see the container here. So now I know that I have rebuilt this complete command with a double quote, and I'm going to use the recursive. So source and destination is ready along with the SAS keys. Simply I have to paste this command. So what would happen is AzCopy is going to copy, and this is going to copy from here all the source, and this is where we gave the SAS token, which has a permission with a time bounded permission, and this is going to be destination, and this is where it's going to copy as a destination container, and we are doing a recursive. That's what we are trying to do. So it's going to take a minute or so to completely copy all the files from one storage account to another storage account. It all depends on the speed and upload and download bandwidth, and all the parameters would be involved. And that's good that we were able to copy it in a minute or so, and it's processed because source and destination does not have a full support folder. So as we talked in the source lecture, the storage account lecture, empty folders doesn't copy, as you know that, and it's copied total 7 files. So if I just click on it, I should be able to see here 5 and 2 into a folder. So 5 here and 2 there. That's good. So now the copying is successful. So what if you want to learn more, you just go to this specific URL and learn lot other commands. And in fact, I did try to use all these commands here. And if you want to work with specific to the blob, you just go here, and if at all you're working with blob, just go here, and if you're working with the Amazon S3 bucket, just to copy from there to here, you can do that. And as you copy, AzCopy is the very powerful command. It has given very detailed documentation how to build the syntax, a directory, or just some files, or specific files only, or time-based files, or just to download a directory. All that were mentioned within this specific article, and this is the master copy of your documentation. You must have to go through it in case if you're working with AzCopy command. Otherwise, you can directly work with the Storage Explorer, which will build for you in automated fashion, as we have shown in that demo. Also, automated fashion AzCopy commands were built automatically. So that's a command which we used like AzCopy from one storage account to another storage account. So that concludes how to use the AzCopy command. I hope this entire lecture is useful for you. Thank you for watching this.